I've been shooting digital photography for about 7 years now. I've shot with phone sensors, 1-inch sensors, micro four thirds, cropped APS-C and H, full frame, and now currently medium format. Now through the assortment of cameras, sensor sizes, and manufacturers, one thing has remained consistent. They were all digital cameras. This isn't to say I've never shot film though. In fact, I currently own 2 film SLRs, 135 film type in fact. I shoot film when it's requested by a client or sporadically for leisure purposes. And if you would care to see my film photography, it's actually available to my Patreon subscribers. I'll leave a link floating in the bio. For just as little as $1 a month, you'll not only get access to my film photography, but also a look into my life with tips in photography and other various hobbies I delve into. It's also the cheapest way to receive prints from me. The money will be used to help me expand on my creative journeys. Maybe you'll even see the script on there, who knows. Nevertheless, my seesaw balance of both film and digital photography, I've noticed a bunch of drawbacks that come with shooting film. From limitations of the film cameras themselves, including no EVF, no tilting displays, limited minimum shutter speeds without aid of external devices, no setting previews, clunky menus even compared to Sony cameras, if the camera even has a menu, to limitations to the film stock itself, including a limited and sometimes inconsistent amount of exposures, an expiration date to account for, a limited ISO that can really only be leveraged by a small amount depending on how you develop, to even a limited and non-adjustable white balance. Of course, there are many benefits to shooting analog, some more now than ever, but that's for a future video. Actually, in fact, let me know if you guys would even care to see that. But for this video, I want to highlight a particular advantage of shooting digital. See, for the longest time I've been using digital cameras, I've been shooting RAW and never even took a cursory glance at JPEG. There was just no leeway for creativity in JPEGs besides cropping, and since I only use prime lenses, I learned the importance of properly framing a photo as I took it. No need for cropping in post for me. I thought JPEGs were simply just too unprocessed. That's until I learned this one trick. Now earlier, I stated one of the drawbacks to film was having a static white balance set specifically to whatever film roll you're shooting. Most consumer films are daylight balanced, with different brand rolls skewing to a certain color temperature. Now in my personal experience, I found Fuji colors are more vivid in blues and greens, while Kodak film rolls are better with golds and reds. And that's without the aid of filters, and without taking account for black and white negative. Now the beauty of digital cameras is you can set your white balance to whatever your heart desires. If you shoot RAW, who really cares? You can just set it to whatever in post. But if you shoot JPEG, it's a bit of a different story. Whatever you set it is what you get. If you like how I was, what you set was auto, which is cool if your camera is accurate. I recently switched to shooting JPEG only for street photography with my Fujifilm X100V, a camera I reviewed on a previous video, and hint, if you haven't seen it, I really like that camera. But for this video, I'll be using photos obtained with the fine JPEG setting on the Fujifilm GFX50r. Sort of a cheat code, I've reduced the need for shooting RAW by using custom white balance profiles for whatever mood I want to achieve. Now cameras have predetermined white balance settings for the conditions they're supposed to be used for, but using them out of context allows for sort of a filter style color overlay that you couldn't achieve by trusting the auto setting, but could get by taking extra time using editing software. Want to go for an inviting cozy shot of a landscape? Throw in the shade balance and tweak it so it's a bit redder. Who cares if it's a particularly sunny day? Now if you want a cold, somber shot of a scene, set it to incandescent and then underexpose it to give you that moody look. You can even delve into the Kelvin scale to really fine-tune things. Don't be scared to get into the extremes either. Heck, shoot at 10,000. It gives you that sepia type photo while still allowing the other colors of the image. Depending on what your color profiles for your camera has, you can get close to your editing style while still maintaining the benefits of in-camera JPEG processing. And with Fujifilm's addition of classic neg coupled with a few custom white balance profiles, I often find little need to edit photos, even with this medium format monster of a camera. Now this is where the audio for this video is originally supposed to end, and I'm talking off script at this point, but I really wanted to share a few quick thoughts on the GFX50r before I do the full video review on it. And the way I see this camera is the way I think Fujifilm wanted people to see it too. It's more of a affordable medium format digital camera for the average consumer, and I've been kind of treating it like that. In a way, I use it as a larger X100V or a slightly larger X Pro 3, which I haven't used before, so I can't really tell you my thoughts on the X Pro 3, but the rangefinder style of this camera body mixed with the weight of this camera really lets me treat it like a point and shoot with very large file sizes. So while I mainly use it on tripod for landscapes or portraits, it's still nice to have a very large run and gun style camera. And people are always so surprised of how I'm just freely carrying this camera around. It's a lot trickier than it looks. It's a very light camera. In fact, when I purchased it originally, I was surprised by how light the camera was. I got it on eBay for a very good price, and I was thinking that this was a more of a display version of the camera itself. I was thinking somebody just sent me a dud. I was like, yo, there's no way this camera can be this light. But I turned it on, I verified everything. The serial number was accurate. This is no Chinese knockoff. There was a battery installed too, so that only added to my confusion. But a couple of weeks have gone by, and this is a really nice camera. I thought it was made out of plastic, but as I've used it outdoors, I've noticed that the metal gets cold on top. When I first bought it, of course, the metal was room temperature from the package, so that only added to my belief that this was a fake camera. But I'm really liking the style of this camera, and I can't wait to use it fully to the way it's actually designed as a medium format digital camera and not just a very large X100V. But that video is coming soon. Let me know if you guys would want to see that, along with all the other videos I have planned. So thank you for watching.